made a video a few days ago titled The Disgusting Irony of KickVic. This is a follow-up video to that, kind of, but this video is also a standalone video. You don't need to watch the previous one to know all about this one. Now that said, about half of that video, the disgusting irony, disgusting irony of KickVic, about half of that video talks about a subject that we're not going to talk about in this video. Truly reprehensible, disgusting acts by KickVic. So maybe it's still worth a watch in that case if you haven't seen it yet. But anyways, let's get into the subject material for this video. I have some emails that have been brought to the public surrounding Techo Con and disgusting behavior, no surprise there, by a member of KickVic, and a lot of interesting information about this person. Let's get into it. So, some information about Techo Con, about us, the region's premier anime, gaming, music, fashion, and Japanese pop culture convention. Techo is an annual Japanese pop culture convention currently in its 16th year, held at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Techo is presented by a 501c3 nonprofit organization, the Pittsburgh Japanese Culture Society. So there you go, Techo Con. And a very quick recap of some of the nonsense this prominent KickVic member was saying a few days ago. Again, this is already something we covered in the prior video that I already showed you guys earlier in this one if you want to see that if you haven't already. But just a quick recap, literally take a few seconds. One post reading, got word that some more VicCon deeds are going to go live. Team Techo, be ready to be on personal blast. 2007 accounts are coming. If you are former or current con staff, consider me your ghost of cons past. And I am going to haunt you guys for letting this go on, letting it go on this long. So originally, I had this complaint with this statement, and that was, it just seems like this person doesn't take this seriously at all. It reminds me of Emmett, and I made this point before. Like Emmett, when he was going on about how he was the holy grail of evidence for KickVic, this person's treating it like some embellished fantasy world, talking about them being the ghost of cons past and putting Techo on blast and all that nonsense. And they even had the audacity to also write this. And if you are someone from the past, I'm sorry if you feel attacked. And by the way, this is the last old post we're going to look at in this video, then all new stuff. Anyways, I'm sorry if you feel attacked, but that I had to speak up because you guys did squat to fix the same problem with the same names over the last 8 to 9 years makes this necessary to address. You failed to make the right call. Let me help. This person is a giant hypocrite. They didn't do anything for the last 8 to 9 years either, and they allege that they worked for Techo Con. And you know what? Kiwi found a lot of amazing information on this person. So if you do want some more of that, more intricate details on who this is and all that jazz, by all means, you know where to find it. I'm not going to supply this in this video. I'm just going to be showcasing the idiocy of this person and laughing at them as they continue to make KickVic look even worse. Isn't it funny how a lot of KickVic's own degraded merit came from their own side? It's truly wonderful. Okay, guys, I hope you're ready for the dumpster fire that is this set of emails. This KickVic member, who we will call Contrarian, wrote to Techo Con and said, "Hi, folks. I was once staff for Techo back in the day. I want to give you guys a proper heads up. As with the Vic deposition, there are going to be several accounts from Techo 04 and 07, particularly the latter. As disappointed as I am that even the events that year did not ultimately lead to a permanent ban of Vic from the convention. I don't want to catch prior shows by surprise as much as possible and be able to prepare at least in part. However, as a longtime ex-staffer who got involved in the scene almost 20 years ago, I hope this is the end of him with you and other events. Too many people have been hurt." So they admit that they are indeed ex-con staff at Techo Con, so guess we don't need to say alleged anymore. They admit that right here in the email. The response they get from Techo Con is pretty well done in my opinion, but I still redacted their name just to be polite. You don't want to put people on blast like that. At least I don't. You can do things your way. I'll do things my way, but this is how I'm going to handle that. So anyways, they write, "If you are genuinely interested in helping, can you please send over the documentation that you have access to? Staff information, affidavits, anything." There you go. You can see that. And the response, let's take a look. So, Contrarian writes, "Can an apology be in order? Seriously, you have done everything in such an unprofessional manner that you really need to earn my assistance, given you're turning to trying to use archives that they would use to DOX people." So, this is so ironic, right? Let's start with the name thing. talking about being unprofessional while you go around parading as the ghost of conventions past. Like, this whole victimization thing is some sort of game, like it's some sort of joke. You expect people to take these accounts seriously, but then you parade around like this is some giant meme to you, the ghost of conventions past. And then look at the email tag, Vic's Wild Tales. In the email itself, write any something. Write any something, even in the email title. And I made this point before too, but even in the email title, it's like this person is just asking for any stories on Vic. And when they asked for the stories too in their original tweet, they didn't even say that they had to be real stories. They're accepting anything. You can literally write anything and send it to them, just like the title implies. Write any something. That's how scummy these people are. They're down to have fake evidence sent to them, apparently, and they're fine with that. And then, of course, saying that you need to earn their assistance. This person is trying to act like there's some holy grail, some white knight, right, for the victims. Oh, but you have to earn their testimonies and their evidence. The victims have to earn that. Disgusting. Then writes, they're literally hacking emails and pulling addresses, phone numbers, etc. And you are trying to help them find people, many of whom are afraid. In fact, I posted this live to provide a distraction for a couple of women who don't want to be found out. And their behavior is, it says TIUR. I'm going to assume that's your. And your behavior is putting that at risk. I would lose any job where I corresponded as you have. And for what? For brownie points with the ALT right? Comicsgate folks who jumped on a bandwagon will never attend your convention? Again, treating this like a game. Why do you always bring in that label to demean the other side? It doesn't work. Your side's getting less and less credit. And this sort of labeling, it's more than just like the Vic Mignogna situation too, and the anime situation. In all sort of political scenarios, when you throw labels like that on any side of the political spectrum, that doesn't work anymore. It worked maybe 5 years ago where people would just believe it. They would just believe the label. It's so overdone now. You're just making yourself look bad. People don't fall for that stuff anymore, or for the most part, they don't. Some people will still just read something and believe it, but people are smartening up, and that's a bad look for you to just label people like that. And then they write, the rudeness you displayed toward myself and others is inappropriate and undeserved. You have exemplified in real time why women don't speak up, and added a lot of harassment that I have faced for months and speaking the truth about multiple conventions for a long time. I reached out to avoid this because I cared and was treated poorly because of your actions. Basically, you need to earn my cooperation. I already said all I can say on that, to be quite honest. The fact that this person is talking about earning cooperation and all that shows how little they actually care for victims. If Vic was really the sick person that they're painting him out to be, they would do everything in their power to stop that instantly. And here they have basically done the opposite, where they dance around in a weird parade and just put off the evidence as long as they possibly can. They treat it like a game, as I said. Response, can we have a correspondence that is just between us? And let's see what comes next here. Holy smokes. So, I don't know. I think there might be some missing context here. At the very top, it reads, what do you think an email is? I repeat, you have had 3 weeks with this notice where I would have been glad to help in every way possible. You are the one who blank. Probably some more, moral high ground nonsense there, but it's too bad that we can't see that email. But we do have the response, and that says, email can be copied and pasted. I am hopeful that this will not happen, as I will be as candid as I can. The problem with your initial email is you. I saw it when you came in and I Googled you. What I found was a social media shitstorm. For every good thing that you do something equally shitty that makes it very difficult for anyone to consider you a credible source. Be reasonable. If you did not know you, would you work with you? So I think he makes some good points here. Where things start to go wrong is in his apology. As you guys know, never apologize to these people. Just don't do it. It doesn't work. For one, they don't actually see it as an apology. They see it as a admittance of guilt. And you just end up shooting yourself in the foot when you do that. But here's what it says. I will again apologize for the humiliating statement. I absolutely should have chosen my wording with more care. The truth is, I very much understand what that hopelessness feels like when you have had all control taken from you. It personally disgusts me the way you are doing things because you do not consider who you are attacking. I allowed my personal opinion to influence me, and that was wrong. So if you're wondering what they're apologizing for, they expand on that right here. says, again, I am very sorry for that. Instead of, if you are interested in more than your 15 minutes of fame, you can contact me directly. So he's sourcing a tweet he made. He made a tweet basically saying that and some other things. Those words exactly, I guess that's why you quoted them. If you are interested in more than your 15 minutes of fame. I don't remember the exact words, but I did see that tweet, and I do remember the 15 minutes of fame thing. Anyways, apologizes for that and says, I realize I should have said anything like, please contact me and let's work to improve our attendee safety. I do not believe a public forum is the correct medium. Can you honestly tell me, though, if that would have yielded different results? Because of the way you have done this, our company cannot just come out and say that we have no plans to bring Vic back. Our internal content policy alone prevents us from bringing him, as we do not bring a VA back to Techo unless it has been at least 3 years since they last attended. You have made it so that if we did say anything of the sort, we risk being countersued along with everyone else. Financially, that would end this event. You have effectively tied our hands. Let me scroll this up a little bit. The problem is, him not coming isn't good enough for you. You want an internet lynching. It should be good enough to know that he isn't coming back, instead of strong-arming companies into publicly agreeing with you. It's like these people never got the memo that there's people right now being sued for tortious interference with a contract. KickVic doesn't get that memo. Everyone is eager to also be sued, apparently. It's really weird. I think they do want their attention. Maybe this person had the right idea with the 15 minutes of fame thing. As I already said, they shouldn't have apologized for it, in my opinion. Continuing on. It makes me absolutely nauseous to think my inappropriate statement to you is considered to be directed at all victims. Well, of course, even if it's unreasonable, they'll stand by any argument that can try to make them seem like they have the moral high ground. That's how they work. Continues to write, I wager you couldn't care less, but I haven't slept or eaten since. Also, wouldn't add that. You're probably making this person happy. They're probably glad to know that they're getting under your skin. I will reiterate, though, this should not be about you and I. Fortunately for me, I have a staff that is already holding me accountable, and I will get better. What about you? Are you so self-righteous that you feel no fault for the people not named Vic that you are dragging through the mud? Do you honestly believe that there isn't a better way to do what you're doing? I must ask, do you have any interest in actually unifying this community? That is what this should be about. Maybe I'm naive and it isn't possible, but the feedback I get from this community every year tells me that we are on the correct path. So, an interesting little exchange there, and that is the last of the emails. What do you guys think of that? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think Techo handled it well? Overall, I do have my nitpicks with their exchange, as I already said, but I still think he handled the email fairly well. I'm not going to say it was good, but I'll say, in my opinion, it was handled fairly well, and I'll leave it at that. Regardless of what you thought about that email exchange, it seems like Contrarian didn't like what went down there. She took to a platform that she knows a lot better. She's a lot more comfortable on. That's Twitter. Writes, at Team Techo, you need to fire your board of directors now. I attempted correspondence weeks ago. It was ignored. This is the hostility he gets after he botches the PR and gets roasted by a bunch of people over his poor deflection response of my not problem. I would also like to mention this guy got a lot of support on Twitter from my stand with Vic, and also from people who are just reasonable people and saw what was going on. But let's continue with this post. This is unprofessional. Hashtag boycott Techo. Boycott Techo. The boycott for Anime Matsuri, guys. They're done with that. It didn't go anywhere. They failed. They completely failed. And looks like they're moving on now. They're trying Techo Con now. That's their new brigade. Boycott Anime Matsuri. GG. WP. Now it's all boycott Techo. I'm kidding around. I don't know if boycott Anime Matsuri is done. But what I can say is I was at Anime Matsuri. Great time. Didn't see anyone boycotting it. If they were boycotting it, they did a horrible job. Absolute trash. Have fun boycotting Techo Con next. Well, we'll see what happens with that. I mean, right now they're getting more publicity than ever. People are getting ready to go to the convention that weren't planning on going because of this nonsense you guys are talking about. It's backfiring again. Oh, but Contrarian wasn't done yet. No, they had more to say. They had to keep on raging. They had to let their emotions get the better of them again as they throw logic out the window and just cry. Here they write, by the way, this is the kind of tone that has been all too common in the coming forward about things in the past. Note how I tried to work with them literally 3 weeks ago, and he is upset because it was not in private as he had hoped. No, you screwed up. I did my due diligence. Yeah, about that. Just like when you did your due diligence saying that nobody could DOX you because you're social media profiles or whatever were all hidden. And then the farms, well, they might have found something today. If you're not aware of that, you might want to check on that. You might not be doing as good of due diligence as you think. You might have a little problem with that, and that little problem might be getting a lot bigger every second that goes by right now as we speak. And what makes this so ironic, so sweet, so ironic, I love it, is this post that she made a while back saying, if you're really thinking you're going to scour my website to try to find my LinkedIn or email to dox me because you don't like my speaking about my firsthand accounts on Vic, good luck. Might I advise reading one of the articles or stories instead? Also wrote, because I'm not stupid enough to give enough info for people to look up my legal name to dox or otherwise harass. Now, the farms had a lot to say about this person, and the thread is going pretty quick even now, so if you want to check it out, again, you know where to find it. It's pretty dang active. You probably enjoy yourself there. One post, I'm just going to show one because there's too many to showcase, but this one really made me laugh. I thought you guys might like this one. Says, I remember hunting this in Monster Hunter, kept rolling around like Sonic and slamming its chin into the ground. about Contrarian. Oh my goodness, the chin thing, you guys got to see it to believe it. That's all I'm going to say. So good work, good post. Let's kind of start closing this out a little bit. So we're not done just yet. There's more that we can laugh at here, guys. There's more meme-worthy posts. Here's one that says, I have a glass of red wine and some of the state of California's finest herbal offerings while I sit back, relax, and watch oh so many troubles go away. Post a picture of her blocks on Twitter. Holy smokes. She's blocked 1,580 people, I think. I don't know what already blocked, skipped, blocked, total. I don't know what that all means because I don't use a block bot on Twitter like she does. But there you go. She's blocked allegedly at least 1,580, I assume. I assume the found 20,000 isn't how many people she's blocked, but who knows? Maybe it is. And you know what? There actually is one more post from the farms that I want to show you guys. This one reads, there is a user on the AMV forum who goes by Redacted. He was upset that his video didn't make the finals for Anime USA 06. She told him to stop whining. He said it was discouraging to not see his video being played at a con he was going to attend. She tried to talk some sense into him. He was old enough to know better, and there was so much he could do there, like watching the masquerade, buying stuff in the dealer's room, and looking at cute UA girls in skimpy outfits. I'm not even kidding. That's what Contrarian literally suggests. UA is an abbreviation, obviously. I think you guys can figure that one out pretty easily. So let me just start by saying the person trying to give them grief because his AMV wasn't picked is very immature. I'm not going to defend that person, to be honest. That's really immature. Like, they didn't pick your AMV. Get over it, right? The difference is I don't work for Techo Con, and I can be upfront about that. Contrarian did work for Techo Con, I believe, at least, when she made this statement that reads, gosh dang it, enough. How old are you anyway? According to your live journal, enough to know better, so you aren't bashing other vids for once. We still are tired of your whining every single time, you know? I could complain about not being able to compete at the cons I actually attend. It's because I am staff, and in one case, run the AMV contest. I've never seen any video of mine played to an audience larger than the anime club at school, so I don't even get that privilege. That's why I submit to other conventions. So your vid didn't make it. Enjoy the con. Watch the masquerade. Buy stuff in the dealer's room. Look at cute UA girls in skimpy outfits, and see if, by chance, there's some sort of Christian group meeting in the same place that weekend and get a few laughs. So throwing shade at religion there, never miss a beat. If they can throw shade at religion, they will, specifically Christians. Let me redact what I said. Yeah, throwing shade at Christians specifically is what they'll never miss a beat to do. Interact with other fans, attend panels, see the guests. There's a ton of things to do, even if you did not make it into the contest. Heck, you can even watch the AMV contest, which has some really good videos, and see how people react and vote for the one that you enjoyed. So the great ironic takeaway from this video is that the only evidence we have of someone being inappropriate with a guest from Techo Con is actually Contrarian. Some shoutouts for the video. The Funimation trash fire continues to burn. We have a good number of them. Thank you guys so much for your support promoting that one over on Twitter. Shouts out to Brittany, Stormy, Persorina, Realm of Rejects, Random Fandom, Lord Bear 92, Shield Warrior, Asakara Yuki, Locus1236547, Nameless Person, Twice Baked Potatoes, Cute Nerd, Pyroceptive, Akar Henderson, Justin, Carvasu, Burning Magician, Rose, Itsukuro, Mr. Anime 343. Thank you guys very much for your support. And if you're not in the Discord yet, to anyone here, by all means, we'd love to see you there. Now with over 3,500 members. And final notes, thumbs up button, subscribe if you're not, notification bell, all that jazz. I'll see you next time.
Don't take him lightly.